All right, well, thank you so much for joining me for this reading vlog. I'm going to endeavour to get back into vlogging my books as I'm reading them. As you probably would have seen, I've done a couple of wrap-ups in the last couple of months because I just haven't been feeling the vibe to pick up the camera and film as I go. But anyway, I'm here today because it's the start of October, and this year I'm actually doing Victober in its fullest form. So I'm meeting all the prompts, I'm joining in the group read, and I'm going to just immerse myself into Victorian literature. So I have quite a number of books on my shelf from this period, and if you haven't already seen my TBR video, I'll link that up down below. You can go and check that out, and you can see all the books that I'm going to attempt to read during the month of October. But we are starting off the group read, which is The Doctor's Wife. I'm still waiting for my copy to come, and I found a free copy on Kindle, so I probably should have just done that to begin with, but I do have a copy coming. And so we are going to be reading a couple of chapters a day and then discussing it in the Discord. So I figured what I will do is just read a couple of chapters, discuss it in the Discord, but I'm going to do it as my morning read when I get back from my walk. But the first novel that I'm going to read in its entirety is A Lady Audrey's Secret. Now, I've heard so many good things about this. Roy Reads Anything is when I first come across this title. I've heard Katie talk about it. Kate Howes also talked about it. A few other people have also talked about it that I've watched as well, and their names are escaping me right now. I do not know anything about this book. I have never even read anything from Mary Elizabeth Braddon, so I'm super excited to be actually reading two of their books this month. So I'm super excited because The Doctor's Wife is also by the same author. So this is supposed to be quite scandalous for its time and whatnot, so I'm going to get stuck into it. This is a copy that I got from Amazon here, and you can see the margins are pretty bad, but I'll be able to take some sort of notes in that because there's usually a decent amount of space at the end of each chapter, and so I'll be able to just write my notes and everything. And these are really cheap on Amazon. I think I paid like $10 for this, including delivery, but you can see I've got enough there to do some notes, and I can always just slip other bits of paper in there and whatnot. So I'm super excited to get stuck into this. I can't wait to share my thoughts with you. So I figured what I might do as we're going, because I'm going to be reading so many books, I'm going to vlog as I go, and I'll probably check in, say, after the first 50 pages or so, just to give you a general sense of how I'm feeling about it. And then depending on the size of the book, I might end up checking in halfway and then at the 75% and whatnot. So that's sort of how it's going to go. And I don't have a lot of books on my TBR this month, so I may just end up taking it nice and slow, and so you might only get to see about one book in the vlog, but hopefully I can get maybe 2 a week done, and I can add a few extras by the time I get to the end. All right, I'm going to head off and start this, and I'll check in soon and let you know what it's all about. But I am very excited about this one, and I'm looking forward to sharing all my thoughts with you along the way for Victober. Well, hi everybody, and welcome back. All right, I'm up at the laundromat doing some laundry, just getting stuff dried because I've run out of time to do stuff. So I thought, you know what, I'll save some time. I'll get some reading in while I'm here because it'll take about half an hour to dry my clothes, and also do a check-in for you. So I am currently reading A Lady Audrey's Secret, and basically this was, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but this was published in 1862 in the United Kingdom, and it was classed as like a bit of a sensationalist novel. So it's the first time that I've read anything from Braddon as well, and a lot of people have said to me that I'm really going to enjoy it and I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. So right now I'm about 25% in. I'm really liking the vibe of it. I'm liking the writing style as well. It is not overly flowery, but it's to the point as well, if that makes any sense at all. That's sort of how I'm feeling about it. So basically we have met a slew of characters at the moment. So we have Sir Michael Audley and his new wife Lucy Graham, who was a governess for the local surgeon and has now married into money, basically. And of course Sir Michael Audley has been a widower for quite a number of years, and for the past 17 years it's just been him and his daughter Alicia, and so now he's married and Alicia is not too happy. They don't sort of get along or anything like that. But we also have Robert Audley as a character, and we also have George Talboys, and George Talboys has come back to the UK from Australia after earning himself some money on the goldfields, and he's come home with £20,000, and he was coming home to his wife, who he had abandoned 3 years earlier. And basically when he got there, he found that his wife was dead, and so he has gone into like a melancholy state, and he is with his school friend Robert Audley, and he is a lawyer, a very lazy lawyer that doesn't do anything, and they've been spending time together for the last year, and and then they've gone down to to Sir Audley's town, and now Lady Audley is being a little bit sketchy about not wanting to meet up with them and all that sort of stuff. And we've got to the point, we've also learned that his wife has died. He has a son. He's put the money in trust for his son, and his no good father-in-law is actually looking after his son because the wife has died. And so, yeah, so there's this little bit of a mystery happening right now, and I'm really enjoying it. Like, it's not super fast-paced, but it's just mysterious enough to, like, keep your imagination and your interest piqued, and you want to keep turning the pages. So I was just planning on reading maybe a chapter or two every morning and evening, but I've really fallen into this story, and I'm absolutely loving it. As I said, this is the first time I've read Braddon as well, Mary Elizabeth Braddon, and if this is anything to go by, I'm sure I'm going to enjoy more of her work. I also have another one by her this month that I'm going to start. I'm probably going to start that tonight and get the first couple of chapters done in that, but I'm looking forward to continuing on with this. I am sort of immersively reading along with it. Occasionally I get up and just listen to the audio, but I feel like I've got the characters now down pat. We also know that Phoebe, her lady's maid, is also knows something about Lady Audley, and so there's a little bit of like blackmail going on as well. Like, I feel like that Phoebe and her partner are blackmailing Lady Audley in a way. Like, I'm not 100% sure on that. I just get that feeling that that's what's going to come. But apparently this has bigamy in it. It also is a little bit of a, like, just on the back here, it doesn't actually tell you much about it except that the novel is by Mary Elizabeth Braddon. It was first published in 1862 in the United Kingdom. It is generally regarded as being a sensation novel, and a large plot element centres around bigamy, which was part of the literary fashion of the 1860s. Woo-hoo, dirty little birdies. Anyway, let's get as many husbands. I guess, you know, like, I don't know, it still happens today, so I can't see why it didn't happen back then. Prior to its publication in book form, it was partly serialised in the Robin Goodfellow magazine in 1861 before being fully serialised in the Sixpenny magazine in 1862. It was also serialised in the London Journal in 1863. So it, like, in 3 different publications it had been serialised. So that's pretty cool. Like, that leads me to believe that it was very popular of the day. There have been many adaptations of this work for stage, radio, film, and television from its own era right down to the present day. It is thought that in the second half of the 19th century, just about everyone would have heard about this novel. It is not quite so famous today, but it certainly deals with a lot of interesting themes, and so it's well worth consideration. You know what? That's the first time I've read the back of a Victorian book or even any classic, and it hasn't really given anything away. Like, it's not telling me anything about the plot, it's just telling me the history of it, which is really cool. That's how books should be, I think, from back then. So right now I am sitting on chapter 15, and we've just, like, all of the chapters have titles and all that sort of stuff. So we've just learned about Phoebe's suitor, who is the lady's, I'm just going to call her the lady's maid because that's what she is, and more like a companion. And we're still, like, we're trying to figure out, because we have a missing person as well, and we're trying to figure out where this missing person has gone because they've just disappeared off the face of the earth. So we have a couple of characters trying to figure that out. Then we've got the Lady Audley and Phoebe plotline happening at the moment. So I'm really happy with it. I'm looking forward to continuing on with it. It's a bit of a bummer that I can't sit down with this all day today and read it, but my next check-in will probably be around the 50 to 75% mark. I'll see how I go, but I will be sitting down at lunchtime and spending it, because I take a lunch break. I take an hour lunch break, so I'll be sitting down with that. I've got a lot of other work to do today, including some quilting, so but I just want to immersively read it. I don't want to just do the audio for it, although I have got up and walked around and listened to a little bit of it as well, because I feel like I know the characters now, so I might be able to do a bit of that, but I'm just enjoying relaxing and reading the books. All right, that is my check-in. I will check in probably around, as I said, probably around the 75% mark, and I'll let you know how it's all traveling and how I'm enjoying it. All right, see you in the next check-in.
So on the weekend, I went down and met up with Savannah for her birthday, and of course we can't go past dropping in to T2. This is in the city, so we're in Brisbane City, and we got to see their display. This is the first time I've actually been to a T2 where we have a full-on display of their Penguin Classics collection. So as you can see, they've got beautiful teapots and teacups and everything like that. I just absolutely adore coming in here. And in those boxes, the first box that I touched, they just have the tea in it. So the Charles Dickens one, and you can see here the Jane Austen one. This is what is inside it. But the ones with the cups in them actually have a classic, and then they have several teas, and they're in the book covers. And the Jane Austen one has like a hint of chocolate and tastes like buttery cake. They also have a collection of little Penguin classics. So you can see here they've got Pip, and then they've got Jane Eyre and Dr. Jekyll, and Dr. Jekyll, and Mr. Hyde, and that one's called Sleep Tight. So that I found that quite funny. And there's lots of other little classics in here, and they just give you a different selection of teas. But how cute are these? These would be absolutely fabulous in any person. Like, got Sherlock Holmes there. Yeah, so there's all the little different ones that they have, and they're so adorable, and they just have the different types of tea in them. I believe they're $45 for all the tea, and I think Savannah said you get about 6 tea bags in each one, so that's not too bad. And they're specialty teas as well, so you've got your different flavors and all that sort of stuff as well. And like, they're just so cute. I think that they'd be adorable. Also, as you can see, this is the boxer close up, so you get a quote inside the cup, and you also get the book. So this one is 1984, and then we have Little Women, and it has the quote in there as well, and that's the book. And then the other 3 to the side are the and it matches the cup as well, so that's why we're just opening it up here so you can see. So your book cover actually matches your cup. So that's super cute. And then you've got 3 different types of tea. And there's also an Outlander one, and obviously that book's a little bit more chunkier, and it has a quote in there as well. And basically the boxes are beautiful. They're absolutely stunning, and I just love the fact that this particular franchise has decided that books and tea definitely go together, and you know, more and more people are picking up books, and especially the classics and all that sort of stuff. And it's just a gorgeous shop. We absolutely love going in here and just checking it out, seeing what new thing that they've brought in, and all the things. And I would love to have every teacup and teapot in here. They've got clear cups, they've got all sorts of things happening in here. I love the patchwork looking ones. I mean, they suit my aesthetic because I am a patchworker. And then this is their newest range, which it's very autumnal, and it has like all mushrooms over it and whatnot. And both Savannah and I were like oohing and ahhing over it, but we're saving for the UK. We can't get them just yet, and Savannah said she'll keep an eye on them to make sure that they, when they go on special, that she'll have some money there. This is the mug. I was actually considering getting this because I drink a lot of loose leaf tea and different types of tea, and that looked really good because I could just drop the tea in it and then just put the lid on and let it steep. And yeah, it's very, very, very cute. I almost walked out of there with the whole set, but I didn't. Yeah, and that's underneath the lid, you can see there. So super cute. I can see this tea set actually being in both Savannah's and our kitchens because we absolutely love them.
Hi everybody, and welcome back. Alright, I'm here for the final wrap up for Lady Audley's Secret. I now have my pretty cover that's going to be on my shelf, and I've got the other one that I can actually take notes in and all that sort of stuff, because I've read this through for the first time and I've absolutely loved this book. I had a lot of fun with it. I loved the twists and turns in it. I love the character development in it. I love the secret, the twists, and everything that went on in this book. I just had a great time with it. I did listen to this on audiobook and also immersively read it, so I did get a lot more out of it, I feel, than what I probably would have had I just listened to the audiobook. But as soon as I closed this, I'm like, you know what, there's probably so many things that I have missed and all that sort of stuff, and I want to read it again. So I ended up buying this copy because of there we go. I ended up buying this copy because my other copy was just a really cheap one. I think I like paid $8, maybe even $6 for it. But it's printed here by Amazon, and it was just formatted really badly, and the writing was really small and all that sort of stuff. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to get myself a decent copy, a Penguin copy, and then that way I can read it and it'll be a little bit better. But in saying that, the next time I read it, I'll probably still use my other copy so I can write things in it, as well as reading along with this one and and just keep the pages. I don't like to scribble in my book, so if it's only a cheap copy, then I'm okay with that. But I love the cover on this. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm still trying to work on my lighting and all that sort of stuff because I'm still moving stuff into my library. I mean, it's starting to come together, but it's just frustrating with the lighting because I had the lighting set up so well out in the sewing room and whatnot. But anyway, I will get there, and you know, I'm going to have lights somewhere. So I'm thinking that I may end up having them over in the corners and then just sit with the books before and sit. I don't know. I'll work it out. I will work it out. But anyway, we're here today to talk about the Lady Audley Secret, and I absolutely loved this. This was the first book that I picked up. It's the book that I decided when I started reading this that I decided that I was going to take Victober nice and slow, even though I had quite an ambitious TBR. I thought I'm going to take it nice and slow, and so I'm only doing a couple of books a week. So I did this one, and I did the Sign of Four by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So I'm going to talk about that in a little while. But what can I say about this without giving too much away? I absolutely loved the mystery in this of what happened to George Talboys and how his friend Robert basically left no stone unturned until he found out what happened to his friend, and just the twists and turns we went with and all that sort of stuff. And you've got things like bigamy in this, you've got arson, you've got all sorts of stuff, thievery, like a little bit of thievery, I guess, and whatnot. So you know, you've got obviously there's secrets, there's just so much that's happening in this book, and it was just a fun read, and I really enjoyed it. I also enjoyed, is it Penelope, is she a lady's maid? I don't know if she was a lady's maid or not, but anyway, she was in service to Lady Audley, and basically I really liked her character as well. And then her husband as well, like he was a no good Nick and all that sort of stuff. But so yeah, so I don't know how to talk about it without giving it away, and I don't want to give it away because if you haven't read this, I highly recommend it. And everybody that has said it's a great book, you should pick it up and all that sort of stuff, are absolutely right. You will not be able to put it down. I, for one, struggle to stop reading in the mornings, and because all I wanted to do was keep reading it, and I only was reading it in the morning and a little bit at night, and even at night I struggled to put it down. I'm like, no, I want to prolong it a little bit more and just stay in the world and stay in Lady Audley's world and see, you know, what this secret is and how it's going to go and all that sort of stuff. So I had a fabulous time with this, and I will definitely be rereading this again, and I'll probably even put it out to everybody for a group read and whatnot. But yeah, this is one story that has actually really surprised me. I can see why it's her most popular work as well, because it is basically taking a look at a lady and basically taking a little bit of a glimpse at what the lengths women will go to either better themselves or, you know, and stuff like that, and escape the life that they, you know, think that's bad for them or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I was very, very intrigued by this, and it's just made me want to read more by Mary Elizabeth Braddon. And I do have, I don't know, it's not in here at the moment, but I am currently reading another one of hers, which is The Doctor's Wife, which is the group read but I'm a little bit behind, and I'm just waiting for my edition to come in the mail because I've only got the audio, and basically I feel like I'm missing stuff with the audio. I really like to immersively read. I love to sit down with my book, have that audio going with my classics, and so yeah, so I'm waiting for my copy to come, and so I'll play a little bit of catch up and all the rest of it. But Lady Audley's Secret has actually got 4.5-star rating from me. Absolutely adore this book. It is going to take quite a place, and I'm looking forward to reading more from this particular author. Now I believe that and don't quote me on this, I'm fairly new to Victorian literature. I didn't really read classics when I was younger or anything like that, and it's only been in the last couple of years, probably last 4 years, that I wanted to read more Victorian classics. And, you know, like I love Charles Dickens, and there's a couple of others that have come to mind as well. Like I love Middlemarch. What else have I read? I can't think of Wuthering Heights, the Bronte sisters. I love all their works and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so this one was quite surprising for me because I hadn't actually heard of this author. Now I believe that she had written she was a prolific writer and had written over 70 or 80 novels and short stories and whatnot. So I'm pretty keen to find more of their work. And I went looking at Dymocks. Usually has a pretty good selection of classics here in Brisbane. And I went and had a look and I couldn't find anything from Braddon on the shelves. So it's definitely something that I'm going to have to shop online for. I'm going to keep an eye out now when I go to the book fest and all that sort of stuff. So I'll be able to... basically I'll be able to find more from the author. And to be honest, I don't mind if they're all as good as this. I mean, I know that not every author who writes that much is going to have a hit every single time, but it'd be really nice to see how her work, what body of work she has, and what she constantly writes about and all that sort of stuff. And now I'm pretty keen to learn more about Mary Elizabeth Braddon and her life and times and all that sort of stuff. So super excited that I'm going down a rabbit hole. And so thank you to everybody that has talked about this on their channels. And I'm pretty sure it was Roy Reads Anything that I first came across Lady Audley's Secret, and the way he talked about it as well. And I have to agree that it is a really good book, and I'm so glad that I decided to pick it up. All right, so that is that one. And the other one that I read was The Sign of Four by Arthur Conan Doyle, who is now Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Now, this one is set in 1888, and we're, Sherlock Holmes, Watson, and the book starts out, I'm fairly new to Sherlock Holmes. Like, I've read a collection of short stories. I think it's The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes is the book I've got over there. I've read those ones, but I don't remember, like, there being substance abuse in the books. And this one opens up. The opening lines in this, in chapter 1, is Sherlock Holmes took his bottle from the corner of the mantel and his hypodermic syringe from its neat morocco case. With his long, white, nervous fingers, he adjusted the delicate needle, rolled back his left sleeve cuff, and, yeah. Basically, and then Watson goes, "What are you using today? Opium, was it? I think he asked him if he was using opium or whether he was using cocaine. But today's drug of choice was cocaine, and because he doesn't like an idle mind and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, okay, wow, like opening paragraph, we've got blatant drug use, and I'm like, oh my god, I think I like this." So basically I read this, it's basically a mystery. We have, I think it's Mary comes and presents them with a case, and then subsequently they proceed from that. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but the drug use, and it sort of ended with drug use as well. There was a bit more towards the end as well. I'm like, geez, I didn't realise he had a substance abuse problem. But anyway, I'm looking forward to reading a little bit more. Because I haven't read a lot of Doyle, and I'd really like to read a little bit more, because I had a lot of fun with The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and then I've had a lot of fun with this one as well. I listened to this one in the car. I had immersively read maybe a quarter of it, and then I was driving and I listened to the rest, and I just really enjoyed it. Like, it's just they're great stories. You go on your twists and turns. You feel like you're going through the motions with Sherlock Holmes as well, and also Watson, because it's all told from sort of Watson's point of view. And Watson comes across as like he's a little bit daft, and Sherlock is all this, and his mind is something to be in awe of, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of that in this one as well, and there was a lot of that in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes that I read a couple of years ago. So I'm guessing that is their dynamic, and that's how they sort of play off each other and everything. And Watson definitely makes Sherlock look pretty good. But I had a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to reading more from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and I'll keep you updated with what I think. And I gave this a 3.5-star rating. I mean, it's nothing like... It's not a 5-star read for me. It's just a general run-of-the-mill sort of mystery. You know what you're getting. It's a little bit, it gives you comfort. You can pick these books up and know exactly what you're getting. And for that, they're about a 3.5 to a 4-star. Sometimes they're a little bit higher, but for the most part, these sort of books, they're a comfort to me. I can pick them up. I know exactly what I'm getting. I know I'm going to enjoy the story. I know that I can come back and visit these quite often, especially if I listen to them on audio, because inadvertently you do miss some of the little nuances of the story from, reading and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I was super chuffed that I got this in the Book Grocer box last year, so I can tick it off. That is one that I read out of that. All right, I managed to do a little bit of shopping as well when I went to Brisbane to see Savannah, so I'm going to cut to some B-roll, and I'll share with the books that I got in just a moment.
So we ended up going, after lunch, we went to Dimmicks, and as you can see, it's Queensland's largest bookstore. This one is pretty huge. Of course, the classics were on special. I think it was 3 for the price of 2, so buy 2, get 1 for free. And of course, I couldn't go past that, being Victober, and of course, finding some books. Now, I had to mute this because there was music in the background, and that's why I'm doing the talking over the top of it. Savannah is very passionate about book covers, and she does not understand the Dracula one. She goes, the Frankenstein one makes sense, has a heart on it and all the rest of it, but the Dracula one does not make sense in the cloth bounds. And as you can see, there's some beautiful editions here. We've got Middlemarch, which of course is part of the Victorian era. It's absolutely gorgeous. I was tempted to buy it, but I already have a copy of that, but I may end up getting that. And then there's this Jane Austen bind-up one, which is obviously not from the Victorian era. And this beautiful Sherlock Holmes was absolutely stunning. And yeah, we were just having a little bit of a look. There was some First Nations books there, classics there as well, and then quite a number of other ones, a couple of short story ones, some pocket size ones as well. Now, of course, as you know, I am saving to go to the UK, and you're probably going to hear this a lot in the next 12 months because it is really, really putting a hindrance on, it is actually stymieing my book purchasing, which is okay because there's going to be a few that I want to get. Then we moved on to another section, and these are the sprayed edges, which we don't see a lot of here. Well, I don't anyway in the bookshops that I go to, because I do go to a lot of secondhand ones, but they're absolutely stunning. And this I just wanted to take them all home, and I was just saying here to Savannah, I said, I just bought these books. I love the sword down the side, absolutely beautiful. And then of course I seen this, and because of the music playing in the background, they'll copyright strike me, but I said to Neva, look, it's Icebreaker, and it's got beautiful pink edges on it. So that one, I definitely know that Neva would absolutely love that. And of course we had a few other books that I hadn't actually heard of. Some of them I have, some of them I haven't. I didn't actually look what they're about because I didn't want to be tempted to buy anything. Although I did want to buy this Leigh Bardugo one. This one was very hard to walk away from. And then, of course, you've got Daisy Joan and Six, Book Lovers. They were just simple sprayed edges, coloured sprayed edges, and that's all they were. So, yeah. And then we found some beautiful editions of different... Savannah is obsessed with Dracula, and yeah, we found a few different sorts of classics. They were really pretty, they felt really nice to hold. There was an Oliver Twist, and the red ones next to it are from the same company. They just different covers, similar, different spines rather, but yeah, it had some beautiful covers there as far as classics go. And yeah, I love looking at all that sort of stuff. And then Savannah started spotting all the Dracula ones. So this is the Dracula without the dust cover, and then we found like different, these are like a leather feel to them, so that was the scarlet leather. There was also another Dracula one as well, and we also found a beautiful felt one that had red felt on the outside of it. This, out of all of them, this was probably my favourite Dracula. It was the most detailed. This one, again, felt like it was a leather cover on it, like a fake leather. And then Savannah found this one, which is the red felt one with the sprayed edges, and it's absolutely stunning. Like, it's really good that we're starting to see a lot of these fancy books coming to Australia. And yeah, so that was our book shopping day.
Okay, so you've already seen one haul that I've got this month for Victober, and that was Lady Audley's Secret. I got this little pretty copy. I've got a couple of these ones up there. I've got a Jane Austen one, and I think I've got a couple of other ones as well up on there that are the Penguin classics. And I got this one off Amazon out of the UK because I couldn't get it here for some reason. I just kept getting that other copy. So I got this one out of the UK, so I'm glad that I've got that now. So that is one of the hauls that I got for Victober. And the other one that I got after listening to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, I thought, you know what, while I was there, I see they had a great special on where they had buy 2 and get the 3rd one free. So I bought 3 books while I was down there, and one of them was Gothic Tales by Arthur Conan Doyle. So something a little bit different. I love the cover. That is such a creepy cover. Trying to find that where it's not. They're so shiny, these Oxford ones. So I ended up getting that one for free. So I was pretty excited about that, and it's just a collection of stories. I believe I didn't really read the back. There was a rumor, it just had on the back, there was a rumor that he was a devil worshipper or something of that sort, and also that he had an evil eye. And I'm like, you know what, that's enough for me. But apparently it's a collection of stories, and it says on here, throughout a long writing career, he drew on his own medical background, his travels, and increasing interest in spiritualism and the occult to produce a spectacular array of Gothic tales. And that's, they're talking about kind of Doyle there. So I got that. I thought that'll be very interesting. I'm not a huge fan of short stories, but Gothic short stories tend to be pretty good, and I get along better with them than I do just regular short stories. Okay, the other one that I got was from Wilkie Collins, and this one is called The Law and the Lady. I have the lady, the Woman in White, and I'm trying to get hold of Moonstone, but I can't seem to find it anywhere. I found it on audio, but I haven't been able to find a decent copy of it because it's one of those printed ones. I'm sort of avoiding them because they're just poorly formatted. While they're cheap and they're great to scribble in and all that sort of stuff, they're poorly formatted, and I'd rather just read them, you know, in their purest form. So this is a Penguin classic, and I don't really want to read the back of it because I don't want to go into it being spoiled, because sometimes on the back of them they do spoil them. And then I'm like, oh, I need a 3rd one, and I started reading Thomas Hardy's the Mayor of Casterbridge, and I just really liked the way the writing flowed and all of that sort of stuff. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to get myself another Hardy, and I got Tess of D'Urbervilles, because I've heard really good things about this as well, and I got this one to match my other one. So I've got a little bit of a collection of these. I think it's called the Penguin English Library. So I'm looking forward to, it's got chickens on the front, so I don't know what that's got to do with it, but anyway, I'm looking forward to getting into this. So with its sensitive depiction of a wrong pure woman and its powerful criticism of Victorian sexual hypocrisy, Tess of D'Urbervilles shocked readers on publication. And that was enough for me to pick it up. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to pick it up. But as I said, I started reading the Mayor of Casterbridge, and I really just got straight into the story as well. So I'm hoping that this one, by the blurb, it sounds like it's going to be a good book. So I got that. So they were my 3 Victorian classics that I got. So I'm super happy about that, and I am looking forward to reading these sooner rather than later. But that is it all for me today. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and this is the first week of Victober wrapped up, and I'll be back next week with another vlog of the couple of books that I'm reading. As I said, I am going to be reading The Mayor of Casterbridge, and I am also reading Cranford. I've actually I've added Cranford in to my my reading schedule because a lot of people were talking about it, and they said it was quite a good book. And that is by, who is that by? That is by Elizabeth Gaskell. So I am going to be reading Elizabeth Gaskell for the first time this week. So you'll get to hear about that. And I'm also sort of continuing on with my fairy tale reading, although I am a little bit behind. And I'm also reading The Doctor's Wife by Braddon as well, which is the group read. And I'm probably going to have that finished up because I've got to travel next week. So I'm going to try and get that finished up a little bit ahead of schedule. And yeah, it's always nice to have a book under, you know, ahead of schedule and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, that is it for me today. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I hope you're having a great Victober, no matter where you are, and you're getting some pages read. But as always, keep turning those pages, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.